And what are we doing live here? Well, we're going to be brewing some of this Barren Mountain in one of my favorite teapots here. And the Barren Mountain is this raw puer here. So I also there's a customer bought this tea and they left a review. And I'm going to read that review to you here while I brew the tea. Or not exactly while, but whilst. It's a wild day. It's a wild time. Okay, so I had an epiphany. I had a realization. People, we've been doing the live, and people have been subscribing to our channel, and that's so great. Really appreciate it. This tea here is a really high quality raw puer, sourced very carefully, and just it has really interesting properties. And like I said, someone did leave a review of it on our website, so I'm gonna start brewing some of this tea here, and then I'm just warming up all the teaware. Kind of make a mess on my tea tray here, and then I'm just gonna start brewing this tea with the first infusion here. And whilst I'm brewing the tea, or at some point, I'm gonna read this review, this glowing review that somebody who drinks puer very regularly left about this tea. So it's always, people. I love it when people leave reviews of teas on our website. In fact, one of the things we try to do to encourage people to leave a review is, if people buy tea and then they leave a review, then they get entered to win like a $20 gift card. And so we send them a note about that, so that it will help incentivize people to leave reviews of the tea that they get. If you like a tea and you review it, it's a great way to help a, a person that's new to tea find a tea that they like. Because, of course, I'm going to say good things about it. I'm selling the tea, but it's like, if there's a third person or somebody that's, not working for me, this first steep is really good. Oh my gosh. The texture is so amazing. It's soft and kind of doughy, and it has kind of like a grape essence to it. So even that very quick infusion that I did, it was barely, basically, what do they call that? The warming and preparing infusion. It was just done very quickly, and that texture is amazing. So I'm going to enjoy that. And then now we're having some teapot cloggage here. That'll happen. It's okay. We'll get it taken care of. This teapot is one of my favorite teapots, but it doesn't have a strainer built in. So it's better if the leaf is a little big. And Dongding. Nice. That's great to hear. I love Dongding tea. Yeah, Dongding, some of my favorite type of oolong. I've been on a real oolong kick. Just crazy about oolong. Um, that's oolong's really how we started in the tea business here. That's my number one tea, that category. And I've been creating a lot of content and a lot of YouTube videos also about oolong tea specifically. Muscle recovery, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know, because a lot of I don't really get too much into the medical aspects of tea. I'm just a guy that I'm just a guy that sells tea, so I love tea, but the tea, tea drinking for me comes out of my enjoyment of tea more so than the quote, the benefits of tea. I've never had Algerian tea before. I've had tea from I had recently I had tea from oh no, I'm not going to be able to remember where was it from. I think I'm gonna order some, but I have to get quite 44 kilos or something. So it's quite a big investment. Um, Hello. Yeah. So oh, Rwanda. I got a Rwandan black teas, dude. This Rwanda tea I had. I'm gonna get some of that for sure. But you know, like I said, I have to get quite a substantial amount of it, and then also it's a new tea for us, so it always takes a bit to get that tea well known sort of in the channels. Like it's tricky when you bring a new tea in that's such a what was it strong? It's strong. I mean, but it's sweet. It had a kind of nice honey note to it. Um wow. This tea is really special here. I have a review. Someone wrote a review of this tea here. They put it on our website, so I just wanted to read this review here. I brewed my first Barren Mountain. That's what this is called. It's a 2012 Barren Mountain, JXJS, with 3 grams in my Yixing teapot. That's a pot like this. Gong Fu style. That's like this brew style. My tasting notes from the first cup are nutty, invigorating, brief note of candy-like sweetness, and freshly cut lumber. The tea gave me such a positive, invigorating sensation that my upper cheeks felt lifted. I'm feeling that now, which I've never felt before from tea. I would identify this as from the strong chi of the tea. The second cup was similar. The flavors were a bit more muted in cups 3 through 5, but the full-bodied, consistent, invigorating, and smooth flavor remained. So I'm reading a review here. Yeah. I'm just reading a review. So I don't mean to go on and on, but I just had that idea of what am I gonna do during this blog or vlog or live? What are y'all up to? This goes on more. I'm gonna continue. The word that comes to mind is balance. The flavor is a perfect balance of the harsh and smooth sensations that come with puer. I like that because it's honest. It was right in the middle, but it had its own character. I know this customer is really good at describing tea. This he had described the tea on my website before, and it went on for I mean, this review here, it's like a half a page. This review that they wrote, But he wrote one that was a full page on another tea, and and anyway, yeah, let's put Jules in timeout, man. Um, and then what happened is the that tea sold out. So his so so then the review disappeared, and I was like, oh man. But then luckily he ordered again. He ordered like 5 or 6 other pours, and the reviews are still coming here. So we're good. Here we go. Side note: the leaves were absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure why exactly, but the individual leaves had a very appealing texture and scent. All right, yeah, thank you. This teapot set, yeah, it's a good set for sure. Um, a tea master might give a far richer description, but I absolutely need to drink this tea again and may experiment with different brewing methods after drinking puer. Oh, sorry, I can't read anymore. After drinking puer almost daily for 2 years, this one really stands out. Enjoy. Yeah, man. The color of this tea too, though, it's so beautiful. And if you capture it in the sunlight like that, it's insane. So, so yeah. Um, I had it. Yeah. So I'll tell you guys something else here. I've been working on this thing here. This is our Tea of the Month Club postcard that we had made recently, and I know it's backwards for you because I'm in the live version or whatever. I guess can I flip it around and show everyone what is a good raw pour to start with for someone who is an oolong lover? Man, that's a I don't know. There's the problem with raw pour. I don't know if it's the problem. There are just so many, and it really is an intense flavor. It's kind of a bold flavor. Um, I do have one that I think that. And the other thing is too, depending on how they're sourced, like um, how do I say, um, how selectively they're sourced. Because with the raw pour, there's what they call like factory tea, where it's like more mass produced, and those aren't by any means bad. Those are some of those recipes are extremely just amazing, but a lot of like this type of pour here, it's a more like a small source. It's boutique sourced, and so it's like more carefully selected leaf blend, and so those can get pricey, right? Those can get pretty expensive, but I really like the Tanjing. It's called Canjing, and that's a raw pour. I think it's from. I'm not remembering the year right now. I think it's from 2007. That's right. It should be right, and it's from the Chen Yuan Hao or CYH. Uh, okay, Nightcrawler. Someone says that might be a raw pour that I'm not familiar with. Oh yeah, I started with the Sheng. Oh, it sounds like it cooked. Oh man. I mean the thing with puer is it's just pretty limitless category of tea. It's like the I think too, the more you drink it, because this is my experience, is like the more you drink it, the more you like it, but it takes a while. And also, a trick I learned is only use like I use when I brew oolong gongfu style, I use way more oolong. I use like, it pretty much fills the pot up with the fluffy leaf once it's expanded. Um, no, sheng is not cooked. Shou is cooked, but that doesn't matter. Sheng means raw. Shou means cooked. Um, that's why it's just better just to use English terms, I think, a lot of times. Um, but anyway, the what was I talking? Oh yeah, so one trick with the raw, because it's intense, is I weigh it and I just use 5 grams and sometimes 6 or whatever. But with oolong, I don't have to weigh it. I just use like I can just eye it, and I know it's not gonna blast me into orbit. With the raw puer, the flavor is intense, has a bit more astringency. It's a bit more wild flavor, and so I weigh it, and then it doesn't kill me. It doesn't like send me into. Then I can drink it over the course of a couple hours, just steeping and re-steeping, and yeah, and then like it doesn't upset my stomach or anything like that. But before I was using too much for years. I used too much, and I just could only drink it for like a couple days in a row, and then I had to just like it just was too much for me. So yeah, that's one trick I learned about raw puer is to weigh it. Uh, any like this review when they wrote this review, they only use 3 grams. So I like to use 5 grams, but maybe 3 grams is good too, because again, so much flavor comes out of such a small amount of tea. So yeah, but yeah, just this is the rinse here, or they call the rinse, and then this is the first infusion. And so now I'll go for the next steep here. Yeah, shorter infusion times, right? Yeah, I mean, there and honestly, there's just so many different flavor profiles that come from different companies that make different pours, different recipes. Like some are bold and smoky, some remind me of like a wild animal, some are like a barn, more like, hey, storage is super important. Storage will mellow out the flavor. But yeah, quick infusions or smaller amounts of tea. I like the tea strong, so my preference is to go for like less tea and then not really be too concerned about how long the infusion is. Just go because yeah, I like that strong flavor, and then um but like if I weigh the tea and it's like say anywhere from like 3 to 6 grams or something like that, then it just means it's only going to have that amount of caffeine. It's not going to be, and it's only going to have that amount of tannins. Even yeah, I think that's like, I mean, yeah, it's just my what I found my preferred way of drinking it. So yeah, my other hack too, though, because I'm trying to get my YouTube channel going more, and I do post YouTube videos every week. On Tuesday at 2 is when the new YouTube video uploads. And we've done a lot of videos on puer. We've done a lot of videos on like what I look for in a raw puer, or just like different kind of puer videos. And we've also done. I've also recently just been focusing more on oolong, and the oolong videos are really fun to make. We also, this week I posted on just one oolong specifically. It's called Red Oolong. It's a super high mountain oolong from Lishan, grown at about 2,000 meters, and it was like a agricultural anomaly because it was the first time this farmer had at that elevation in 30 years of tea farming had seen the jacet or the green leaf hopper that when it bites the tea plant, it makes it have it basically has a self-defense mechanism that releases then once the tea plant is attacked by this bug, it releases this I think it's like a pheromone or some sort of, basically it's a metabolic chain reaction that it goes through, and then the result is that it attracts a spider that then defends the tea plant. And but the result is that the tea has a honey note to it, like Eastern Beauty, those type of oolongs. And so it was like this farmer, the first time they had seen that pest at that elevation, and so they processed the tea into a red tea. So anyway, that last video is about that tea specifically, and then the video before that is about several new, or it's about the Dayuling, and then the what's it called? The we call it the Ruby Black. It's a number 18 black tea from Taiwan, and that is a really interesting cultivar. That is a cross between an indigenous tea plant to Taiwan called the Camellia formosensis and Assam. So those two types of tea were blended to create that specific Ruby 18. So yeah, then that batch of Ruby 18 we got is insane. And we're going to be taking that and several other oolongs down, and other puers down to the San Francisco Tea Festival, which is November 1st and 2nd. So I'm really excited because it's our first time to be at the San Francisco Tea Festival. And we did the Eugene Tea Festival, the Portland Tea Festival, and what else? Yeah, but anyway, I really appreciate your guys' support. Like I was saying, my recent hack is to make the live, because live videos, we tend to get subscribers. And so if you are liking the video that I'm making or just want to learn more about tea, please subscribe to our channel, because living the dream, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And that's just step one in this journey of YouTube exploration. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheers.